The NBA is moving next year's All-Star game from Charlotte because of the law known as HB2. It's a North Carolina law that limits anti-discrimination protections for lesbian, gay, and transgender people. The law has been challenged in federal court in part because it requires transgender people to use restrooms corresponding to the sex on their birth certificates. The NBA had expressed opposition to the law since it was enacted in March before announcing the move on Thursday. The league hopes to have the 2019 All-Star game in Charlotte if there's a satisfactory resolution. In a statement, the NBA said in part, while we recognize that the NBA cannot choose the law in every city, state, and country in which we do business, we do not believe we can successfully host our All-Star festivities in Charlotte in the climate created by HB2. Earlier on SportsCenter, Lindsay Czarniak asked Steph Curry about the league's decision. Curry grew up and went to college in the Charlotte area.
What's the most disappointing to you about that decision?
Just I know how much that would have meant to the city to be able to host, the greatest, NBA guys and celebrate the game of basketball. I know the league is in a position where they have to make a decision, and Adam Silver's made one, and we support that. But at the end of the day, I love my city, I love Charlotte, I love everything about it, I love the people there, and I really wanted to see them, celebrate the game. It's unfortunate I won't be able to do that.
Rachel Nichols has been following this story very closely and joins us now here on SportsCenter. Rachel, Adam Silver was going to face opposition from one side or the other in this, no matter which decision he made. Why did he make the decision that he did make?
Well, Stan, I know a lot of politicians like to refer to this as the bathroom bill because the idea of transgender use of bathrooms is very divisive in this country, so it's a good way to get a law passed. But in fact, this law in North Carolina covered so many other things. And while the NBA did disagree with the bathroom aspect of this law, they really had larger problems, as Adam Silver stated during his NBA Finals news conference, with the larger part of the bill, which rolled back protections on anyone who is gay or lesbian of any sexuality in the state of North Carolina. So, especially in areas of public accommodation, this is how it affects an All-Star game. Hotels, restaurants, taxis, they can now discriminate against anybody, and there's no protection for them, and they can throw someone out of their restaurant or tell them they can't take their taxi because they are gay. So if you have, say, a lesbian couple with their kids come into the All-Star game to enjoy it, and they want to go check into the hotel, and the hotel can look at them, there's no protection in North Carolina for the hotel not to say, you know what, we don't want you to stay here. So those realities of trying to stage an event in a place where those things were true is something that was brought home by Rick Welts. He's the chief operating officer of the Golden State Warriors. He is openly gay, and a source told me that he actually spoke very eloquently at the NBA owners' meetings in Las Vegas last week, sort of explaining just the impact of all these different things on members of the NBA family that would be trying to come to the NBA's premier annual event. And there's just a lot of issues that the NBA had with having to stage an All-Star game there.
Okay, so the game could return to Charlotte in 2019 if there's sufficient resolution, according to the NBA. Does that mean repeal, or could there be some other sort of modification that would allow Charlotte to get the game in 2019?
Yeah, I mean, the NBA has said that they're happy to work with lawmakers and talk about some sort of modification to this law, but it would have to be a pretty significant one. The idea with this 2019 compromise is at least there's some time, and the NBA is going to leave that 2019 All-Star Game slot open. They're not going to award it right now. They're going to tell the city of Charlotte and the organization of the Hornets and the state of North Carolina, if you can figure this out, it's yours. You get first dibs on it. And then if in the time where they feel like they would have to award it to someone else to get another city ready, that doesn't happen, well, then it will go to someone else.
Another city needs to get ready for the 2017 game. The NBA says it wants to move quickly to find another location. What cities are emerging as possibilities?
Well, we're hearing Chicago is a possibility, Las Vegas is a possibility. The Vertical reported that New Orleans is a possibility. You always have to think New York is a possibility. The idea is you need a city that has the hotel space on short notice. That's really the issue here. This is a massive operation coming to town, and usually this hotel space and the arena dates and everything are blocked out years in advance, and now you're just trying to block them out a few months in advance. So you need to go to cities that have the infrastructure. Las Vegas always has hotel rooms. Chicago Chicago actually has hotel rooms in the winter because they don't book a lot of conventions there. So that's one city to keep an eye on as well. We'll just have to see. There's a lot of cities who are suddenly interested in this, though, Stan, and they're trying to scramble and kind of see what they can put together and what packages they can offer the NBA.
All right, Rachel Nichols with the latest on the NBA and HB2. Rachel, thanks for the time.